Hey friends, welcome to Hot News. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. That's the day that it is, because that's the day I'm saying it is. So let's talk about new stuff after I tell you to check out our website, UFD Deals, in case you're trying to build a PC, or you're trying to upgrade your PC, or you need a new monitor, or you just need anything for a computer ever. Check out UFD Deals first, because we compile the best deals that we can find on computer parts around the internet, put them all in one co-located area so that you can just click on them, buy them, save money. We make money off of affiliate deals. You save money because it's cheaper than if you had done it otherwise. So check out UFD Deals. That website's set up for you. Anyways, let's get on into the hot news in case you want to. And in case you don't want to, why are you even here? So first up, let's talk about the Nvidia driver issue, because as you may know, there's always a conspiracy theory floating around that Nvidia is nerfing gaming performance with the latest drivers to force people to upgrade. So they want the 9 series and the 10 series to perform worse so that they can sell their 16 and 20 series. And that we've even made a video covering this a couple of times, but you know what? Now it's real, okay? Nvidia is real. Their driver issues are real. But apparently it was an honest mistake, at least this time. So in the latest driver that came out for the GTX 1650, there was a bug that caused the nvdisplay.container.exe to use way too much CPU, so which could potentially harm not only your gaming performance, but other performance around the internet. Yeah, it could help with the internet, I mean around your computer. Apparently the container was using between 10 to 20% of their CPU usage, and that's not good for something that's just supposed to run in the background. You don't need your driver taking up, it's not supposed to take up overhead. Anyways, that was happening with the latest driver. It's been proven, but it's not a conspiracy theory type thing. It was a bug. They've since issued a hot fix for that driver. So if you've been experiencing these issues and have yet to roll back, then you can kind of just update to the new hot fix as opposed to dealing with this issue. I'm sure a lot of you are going to comment down below about how you wait a couple of at least generations of drivers before you update so that you can make sure it's stable. That's a good practice. I always am okay with letting other people be the guinea pigs for stability. So especially when issues like this happen all the time. Maybe not necessarily all the time with drivers. I can install that whenever it comes out, but definitely with Windows updates. Never the first guy. Always find out, oh, hey, are people having their files uninstalled? Let's maybe hold off on this October update. What do you think? Anyways, were any of you experiencing the issues with the new Nvidia driver? Let me know down in the comments. Keen to hear how many people it affected. Actually, we'll leave a poll right up there. Were you affected? Not affected, haven't installed the update, don't have an Nvidia card. Those are the options. Click the poll, answer the questions. But you know, that's cute and all. You got desktop graphics cards, cost $1,200. But let's talk about gaming phones, because we got something, the Red Magic 3, which is going to be one of the first gaming phones to have a fan, considering how many of the gaming phones like the RAZR phone or the ASUS ROG phone were overheating and not necessarily getting their full performance. This is actually pretty welcome, except for the fact that it can spin up to 14,000 RPM. My goodness gracious, that's very fast. Hopefully, because it's smaller, it won't be as loud. And apparently it's gonna have an IP55 rating inside of its own isolated chamber. So hopefully the noise won't contribute to the whole thing. But I mean, it's gonna buzz on the back of your hand. But I mean, if you're spending money on a gaming phone, I actually think this is an okay change to make, because you know what you're getting. Like, you're paying for extra performance. So having a fan that's gonna help cool down your phone and dealing with the consequences of noise and vibration and all of that is actually a worthwhile trade-off, as long as, you know, the battery life is still also okay. Because what's the point in getting a gaming phone when you freaking can't play games for very long if you're not unplugged? At that point, you might as well just get something else. Let's talk about Ryzen 3000. Actually, let's speak more specifically about motherboards that are going to support them. In case you were wondering, we had the whole debacle with MSI a couple weeks ago, where one of their lower level support people on an email thread said that their B350 and X370 motherboards weren't going to support Ryzen 3000, and then the company had to issue a statement saying, oh no, we actually are. Which, fun fact, they're also embroiled in another controversy with an esports team. Like, the esports team said that MSI sponsored them, and then MSI's like, no, we never sponsored you. And then the esports team published the emails saying, like, with the details between them. Anyways, I'm not clued up enough on that to talk about it, but MSI posted the list of all of the motherboards that they're anticipating will support the next gen Ryzen CPUs. ASUS has now done the same, so in case you're interested and you want to check out which, if you have an ASUS board from the X370 or B350 variety, you should check out this list to see if it's going to be upgradable to the next generation of Ryzen CPUs, which we're expecting to launch in just a couple weeks, or at least be announced by no, it's already been announced, so we more concretely Computex. And then in a bad order segue, because this is a phone news that should have gone next to the other phone news, the Motorola RAZR has finally leaked, the foldable phone that's supposed to bring us back to the glory days of being in middle school. At least that's how old I was when the RAZR came out. Might have even been at the tail end of elementary school. But either way, the RAZR, making you the coolest kid on the block, is now coming back. Instead of folding out this way, it's gonna fold closed like a hand, so you can just do the clap close thing. That's gonna make you look cool, except for if Samsung's implementation is anything to go by, this is probably not going to be the greatest device. Obviously, this could be developed more, but considering that Motorola isn't really in the greatest of hands when it comes to the phone company division, like how many times have they switched companies as far as who owns them? I don't know if Motorola is going to be capable of doing this, but we're expecting a $1,500 price tag, so that's fun. I don't think I'll buy it. Just say. And then in case you are an Alexa owner and you live in the United States, later this year it's been confirmed by Amazon that they're going to update Alexa to finally support Spanish. So in case that's one of your native languages in the United States, you can actually use it instead of, you know, this English dominance that pervades the world. That sounds like a political statement. It's just, I don't know. Fun fact, there's no official language of the United States. It's not written into any law, but here in South Africa, there's 11 official national languages. So that's cool. Obviously, there's like a trade language, and that happens to be English in the United States, and also happens to be English a lot here in South Africa. But yeah, not written into law anywhere that English is the official language. Fun fact. And then speaking of foldable phone stuff, because I really cannot put things in order in this episode of Hot News, Samsung finally revealed their first quarter earnings statement for, I mean, everybody's doing that these days because this is about the time that people do that. Anyways, they saw a 60% drop in profits, which is ridiculous, and they are still expecting on launching the Galaxy Fold, at least in the conference call around their earnings statement, would indicate they're expecting to have a launch date in the next few weeks. Not that it's going to launch in the next few weeks, but they'll have a launch date to announce when this super premium, not really working device is actually ever going to come out. And then in case you want internet, but you happen to live in a rural area in the United States, the FCC has got your back, apparently, because they are announcing their broadband expansion plan to roll out to over 100,000 different rural homes and businesses, and it's going to spread across 43 different states. This is hopefully a good thing. I mean, the FCC trying to bring internet to everybody, it's good. But then, you know, you got things like the first casualty of net neutrality with Cox Gaming offering a bundled pack that you pay extra money and then you get faster access to internet for gaming stuff. It's basically like WT Fast, but more shady because it's done by the ISP. Screwed them. And then in case you like music, you're probably one of the people who has Spotify, unless you're on the Apple Music bandwagon and you're taking their side in this whole debacle between the two. But apparently it doesn't seem to have affected Spotify that much, since the company has announced that it has over 100 million premium users. That's people paying for their service, and 217 million overall users. Almost half of their users are paying for the service. That's impressive. That is a far cry from the Napster days of everybody pirating music. Anyways, but you know what you would pirate if you could? CPUs, because Intel's not doing a great job of producing them in a way that's cost effective. You wouldn't download a car. Anyways, the 10th gen CPUs appear to have been leaking as of late onto 3D Mark. It's now going to be the 10th series of Intel chips, and apparently Intel doesn't see the need to rename anything. So we're gonna get the Core i7 10710U, the Core i7 10510U, the Core i5 10210U, and the Core i3 10110U. Fantastic. Sweet. I'm so glad these naming schemes are super easy to remember. Why are you giving me so many digits, Intel? But you know who else is getting more digits? Switch owners, because even though we did the video where we overclock the Switch, which we did through an application that allows us to actually set the clock speeds, apparently with the latest 8.0 update on the Nintendo Switch, they've allowed sort of dynamic overclocking on the CPU, which allows for better load times and allows for the console to perform a little bit better in certain games. It's not applying everywhere, and it's kind of hard to tell whether or not the clock speed change is active, but they're doing it in places where the console could handle it, and it's affecting load times, like in Breath of the Wild, going from 16.76 seconds to 11.31 seconds through boost mode, and it's happening in places like load screens and the such as. And then more Switch news. Apparently, finally, Linux for Tegra is rolling out so that you can actually use your Nintendo Switch as a Linux computer. There are still some bugs since this only launched 2 days ago on the 28th. Like things like the wired Joy-Cons don't work. You can't use sleep mode. USB OTG is a little buggy, although it works fine with the dock. Vulkan is buggy in the Dolphin emulator. There are a few issues, but for the most part, it's actually a fully functioning Linux computer. So, you know what that means? Computer games, PC Master Race, Switch, perfect portable Steam device, I think. We'll have to try it and see if it actually works. We'll do a video, okay? Let us know if you want that down below in the comments. And then in case you work for a business at all, you probably use Slack for some sort of communication. We definitely do here at the UFD Tech office. And apparently they are doing a direct public offering, so that's gonna be cool. They're going public, which means that their services are gonna get worse, their features are gonna get worse, and everything about them is gonna make me wanna stop using them. Anyways, let's also talk about the OnePlus 7 Pro, because OnePlus is supposed to be announcing that on May 7th at an announcement event, but apparently Wired, who's getting all of the good exclusive interviews these days, has an exclusive review on the OnePlus 7 Pro, showing off the fact that it has things like pixel binning and downsampling, just in case you were placing. Gosh, wow, mouth words. Yeah, in case you're interested, it looks like it's gonna be a good camera. And another thing that not everybody's gonna wanna buy, let's talk about the Project Cars driven Mad Box, which is supposed to be a new console by the same studio that made a single video game that they're known for, and a sequel. They also wanted to publish a console for some reason. Anyways, they're gonna call it the Mad Box, but apparently there is an issue with the trademark, so they had to rescind the fact that they're calling it the Mad Box, and they don't have a name for it now. On top of that, the CEO of Slightly Mad Studios has said that they're not necessarily sure how things are going to work out, especially since Google Stadia has put some uncertainty in the console market, and they said that they lost over $1.2 billion of investment for the console. So, wow, I think it was a little slightly mad to think that they were actually going to be able to do it. Got them. Anyways, in case you care at all and you're into the political stuff, which I'm sure we're going to have a war down in the comments, just be civil, I suppose. Notch, who is the creator of Minecraft, has been disinvited, or not invited, but intentionally so, to the 10-year anniversary celebration that Microsoft is going to be putting on for the video game. They're citing his online conduct with specific things such as, if you're against the concept of a hashtag heterosexual pride day, you're a complete effing C-word and deserve to be shot. Which, I mean, was deleted at one point, but you know, it's just kind of the context for the type of stuff that the creator of Minecraft happens to say on Twitter. In case you were wondering, political discussion, go! And then, in another thing that is getting disinvited, I guess by themselves, Anki, the company that was behind those cute little robots that you controlled with your phone that a lot of tech YouTubers actually had sponsored content by, they have shut down. Just done. Apparently they had some investors pull out, so that made it so that they couldn't continue. This is kind of what's happening in the age of startups at this time, where like everybody is waiting on the next round of seed capital and not necessarily developing a profitable business, which, you know, net profit isn't important. Not when you have billionaires financing you, I'll tell you what. Papa Linus, please help us. Anyways, that's the end of hot news. Let me know what you thought of the Nvidia driver issue. Let me know what you think of anything else we covered down below in the comments. Don't forget to check out UFD Deals if you want to get the best deals on tech products around the internet. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Get subscribed to this UFD Tech channel to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content in case you so want to. And that's it. I'm Brett. Love you too. Bye.